Oh, hey. Office hours. I think it's on. Let me double check this. We're live. I think. I'm not sure. Is it? Seems to be. Yeah, so seems to be we're live. So, hey, morning, Ben. How's it, brethren? Yeah, kind of funny. I wasn't even feeling like doing office hours today at all. So, let's see. Hopefully, folks have some good questions. Make it worth our time. Start with some higher wisdom. If you are alert to the creative, you will meet with good fortune now. This hexagram signals a time when the fundamental creative power of the universe is available to you. An unrestricted outpouring of benevolent energy from the heavens makes possible profound progress for those who are conscientiously following proper principles. Frantic activity is not in order. Your responsibility instead is to be open and receptive to the higher power, allowing it to guide your actions. By allowing inferior thoughts and habits to pass away, you make room for an expansion of your superior qualities, which leads inevitably to good fortune. In your conduct with others, embody tolerance, reticence, gentleness. Strive to meet others halfway in every situation. To overextend yourself or require that of another is to create an undesirable imbalance. Your attitude towards a sage is most important. Alertness and receptiveness are paramount. To receive the powerful assistance of the creative, remain humble, patient, accepting, and responsive. Careful attention to truth brings vast reward at this time. So cool. Yeah. I guess one of my motivating factors to do this is that there are a bunch of folks that I appreciate, like you, that tune in each week and trying to make some of a community possible and bring together good people towards good positive things. So it's good. Wow, Joe, that seems like so. Joe's saying that he had 9 inches of rain in 2 days. It's sunny and 75 degrees today. Seems like 9 inches of rain is a lot of rain for anyone living elsewhere. 9 inches of rain in Hawaii is like pretty standard. But isn't that like a flood? I think, yeah, New York was flooding, right? It was flooding. So yeah, hopefully, I was just reading The Water Wizard. Let me see if I can find it over here. Let's see, let me bring this over. Like that. And yeah, it was yeah, this book right here. This book is great. If you're looking for a good book, you want to read this one here, and he talks about well, why we have such extreme flooding and all that. Yeah. And then these books as well are good as well. Nature as Teacher and The Fertile Earth. So this guy wasn't necessarily doing natural farming, but all these are good books. Viktor Schauberger was up to some amazing things with water. Turns out water is pretty important, especially for life. If you're into death, then don't worry about water. But if you're into life, water is your friend, and looking at that, it'll be good. So, what's up, Ben? How you been, man? How you been, Ben? Rainbow Possum Farm. How's it? Cecily, Western Australia. Good day, mate. Sao from Brazil. Hope you're checking in with Pedro. Things are good down there. Stonemason. What's up, man? Indiana in the house. So, Ben is asking, for WCP, at what point do your bones become overcharred? So they become overcharred when they start to turn to ash. So you don't want them to turn to ash. When they turn to ash, you've burned out most of the things you're trying to get out of them. So try not to char them too hard into ash. But since you asked that question, I'm going to go here and go to where we were making some calcium phosphate here. And let's see here. I've done it. I'm finding something right now on the other side. So let's see. So I went to Korea in 2018, and I was actually kind of lamenting it just this morning about just like what COVID's done, of just like making it where I feel like I can't even travel anymore. And I would love to go back to Korea, but since I decided not to get the juice, I am, forbidden to go to Korea, and it's just like, what a bummer. But we did go to Korea in 2018 to go hang out with Master Lee and this wonderful gentleman right here. And this was one of the most advanced natural farming trainings we've ever done. Sometimes, I've been there with Master Cho, but Master Cho is great. Like, don't get me wrong, but sometimes he'll often talk about just his old stuff that he's done. I mean, and it's good, and sometimes he'll get distracted on certain topics and not delve into like as much as he wants. So I'm not like saying that anything Master Cho has been is bad. But this was just like top-notch excellent. I mean, even the mayor came. We were hanging out with the mayor. This was just top-notch excellence of... I learned more on this moron. learned more on this trip than any other trip. Just because the entire time, instead of being in a classroom, we were in the farm, like, and so this is Muju here, and beautiful little place. Yeah, you can see the panorama of it. What was like, we were at the farm though. Like in the chicken training, don't get me wrong, the chicken training was also like top notch, like these and those up and up, because you're on the farm. But being on the farm and being where you can actually like the farm is where you learn, right? And so, like, a little bit of time was spent in this classroom here, and we had some lectures and those types of things, which were good. But going here to the farm, this is Master Lee's little farm, where he had, those are his neighbors over there, doing some other things, the apples and all that mylar and stuff. But his little pocket of a farm, this is his pig and chicken greenhouse. This is his little church home. This is his greenhouses over here where he grows things. He has a pepper field. These were just like beyond epic. So this is on the calcium phosphate question. This is the one I wanted to kind of try and answer. Is it day one? Is it? No, it's day two. Yeah. So we ended up charring some bones here. So the reason I'm going to this is because this was the best version of this. So these two buckets, if you look at these here, I suppose I could zoom in for you. These buckets. So this bottom bucket is where the fire goes. And then, I shouldn't speak so soon. I should just look at it because I haven't looked at this for a while. But we're making calcium phosphate. So first thing we're doing is using Kuike's strength to make the wood smaller. And then this one, is the bottom bucket, and then this one's the top bucket. So using Kuike's strength there, and we did two versions of it. We did this version here, where here's the bones, the fats removed off of them, and then so we load the bottom thing with wood. Then does it show? Then we did a second version of it where we just took rice straw and we made a rice straw version. So the rice straw version, then we put the sesame stems, then smash that down. Should have used Kuike. Then we put some of the bones there. Those are the bones. And then there's a big pile of bones there. You can see Ku's nice butt. But loaded those up, and then the rest of the bones went into that over here. Filled that thing up. So we're doing two different techniques. One is this technique here. The other's this technique here. So this technique on this side, the pile is not done yet. We then covered it with a bunch of rice straw. So the bones were put on top of this flammable material, then it was covered. What's up, Oren?
All that too.
And then all that goes on top. And basically cocooning these bones in here. So this is a secondary method. And then we took a picture. Nice picture. We're looking good. And then, yep, that's Master Lee's wife there, taking a picture of us, getting one with her in it. And then these were lit on fire. We lit that one on fire. And then we lit this one on fire. And then they burned. Now, this one, on this side, we had to add more fuel to. But this one, we just let it burn. Nothing else was added to this. So, if you watch, we just lit this on fire. Burning up a storm there. This smoke come out of here. Don't get this on you. It smells terrible. You can see this takes quite a while. The method on the left, the can method, was much quicker than this method over here. You can see him even trying to fan the flames. So the method on the left here, the can method, was a much higher heat. You can kind of see this one on the right kind of smoldering there. This one here, a much higher heat that's happening. So these two different methods have different methodology. This one here, the fire is burnt down, but when I use charcoal to do it, so it does it a bit better. And in this case, we're just using this. The bones were not burnt yet. We're stacking that one up. But this one, on this side, you'll watch, he'll lift this thing off because these bones aren't fully charred yet. So we had to add more wood to this. So even though this was a lot of wood, if you use charcoal, barbecue coals, like the charcoal they sell type of stuff, Kingsford stuff, it will last a bit better than just straight up that wood. It burned pretty darn fast. Plus there's a lot of air holes in that. If you just suck the air in through the bottom, I find it's actually a little bit better way of doing it. Suck the air in through the bottom. And of course this can has a hole in it, with a screen to keep the bones in there. But notice this one just kind of smoldering versus this one's going very hot. So this one's going to go faster, but this one, Master Lee told us, actually produced better results. So notice it just kind of smoldering, doing its thing. And here's the question, can you overburn the bones?
Behind you. Okay. There's like a happy medium with it.
So they're saying there's a happy medium with it.
What's the difference between charcoal and ash? Is charcoal just carbon or is charcoal carbon?
Ash is like potassium,
Potassium.
I think, right? Potash. Potassium. Oh yeah. You want to burn it completely black, and then his is white, but usually like the way we did it before is you don't want that much white. Like it's okay to have some on the outside, but when you crack it open, it should be black on the inside. Yeah. But if it's white on the outside, it's not that.
So smoldering going, and then eventually, we did some other things in the meantime. What are we doing here? Oh, we're making some plant juice out of grapes. Delicious grapes that Ray's eating there.
I'm good.
That's what happens when you bring a Malaysian with you. He sits on the stairs eating grapes while everyone else works. But we ended up making some fruit juice, can of food from grapes. Weighed it out. And we added sugar. Did we break the grapes? Yeah, we ended up smushing them.
Make you feel like the bad guy.
Maybe Maybe did we smush them? I don't know. I don't think we smushed them. But Logan here doing a good job. All the juice at the end.
That's under 1,000 at least, right?
I mean, I got subsidized for it.
Yeah.
Pull out that clay jar. Then back to the bones. So this one on the left going faster. This one's almost done. Should probably listen to what he's saying. Ray was gone, so this guy translating for us. Sugar cap on there. And the fruit juice with the grapes. Back to the bones. So see how much slower this method is here. Oh, I gotta watch this dog. I love these Korean dogs. Making some silage. Back to the bones. Back to the bones. So the bones are on fire now, which means that this should be put out. Like, you don't want the bones to catch on fire. Because once they turn to charcoal, then they turn into...
Oils and gases that are burning now, which is how it's lit without, without any fire underneath.
지금 여기 물이 다 타면 밑에 보면은 완전히 불덩이잖아요.
네.
여기 이제 위에가 다 타고 나면 꺼져버려요. 그러면 다 된 거예요.
So,
위에도 보면 여기 새카만 기름 같은 게 있잖아요.
네.
그런 게 없어지면 다 된 거예요.
so it'll kind of burn off on its own, and then that's when you know it's done. So underneath you can see that they're all like embers, and then so that'll go all the way through to the top, and then once that's done, the fire should go out on its own.
그리고 여기 기름이 이게 다 빼지 않은 상태에서 식초에 담가 놓으면 식초가 나중에 상해요.
So
그 칼슘을 만들어 놓은 상태에서 이것이 다 기름을 빼야 칼슘이 상하지 않아요.
So you have to make sure the process is fully complete before you put it in the vinegar, or you'll ruin the end result.
그러면 이제 저쪽에 가서 저거 같이
So back to the bones. This is when he's done with them. He's taking them off. He's done with them. So they burned through. The other pile, so this is just again looking at those bones. The other pile over here is still going, still smoldering, still cooking. So that was when we were done with them. So that's how much you're supposed to cook the bones through. This finally went out. Well, it looks like it's still on fire a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. Skip that. So I think this is just before we're leaving for the night, because we had to go get dinner.
기름이 타는 거예요.
This process still going.
Oil from the bones is burning right now.
So apparently the oil from the bones is burning right now.
내려놓고 바로 와야 돼. 이게 40분까지만 왔대.
Let's go back.
So we left that evening. Then I think the next day, let's see here. Next day, gotta be here somewhere. Let me just go through this quickly. Did we go back? Oh yeah. Okay, so here we are. So this is the next day. All those bones, they all look pretty white to me. You know, pretty, but hear them clinking. And so we're collecting the bones the next day out of that pile and burn much slowly. There's the other one that we did.
It's not ash because it's not disintegrating in your hand. There's the carbon is still there to hold it.
So he was able to cook them like this. They look pretty white, pretty ashy, but they're not. They're fully charred out. And once we get, where is us mixing it with vinegar? Was it still that? It's just not here. Is it? No, we just collected them all. We'll see. Checking the IMO pile. Checking on the baby chicks. American. Building a compost pile under the chick box. Some delicious Korean food. More lectures. You can see the whole team there. Got a photo with the mayor. Baby chicks. Some lectures by these farmers. This was pretty epic. This is a 2-hour video. These farmers told us all their experience. You know, going through talking about why natural farming is good. Let's see. Oh, and then explaining the growth cycles. Let's see. Do we actually go and do the charcoal? So I was touring the countryside, going to other farms, going through a forest, checking out IMO collection sites. Some goats. Checking out an old ninja guy. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll through this way. I went up to this mountain thing.
Wow, this thing is.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, here's from the top of the mountain. This is Muju. They ski here in the winter. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Muju mountains. Korea famous for their mountains. Oh, magic hot dogs. Spain original churros. I'm sure they're Spanish, to be honest. I think they're Mexican, but that's the wine cave. Let's see. I'll skip through some of this. This was like a tour day. We got to do cultural experiences. Oh, this bug museum. This was pretty cool. Taro growing in Korea. Papayas. Papaya. Bananas. This was in a greenhouse. The otters. They're chilling. About to shake each other apart.
Oh, they're river otters.
Some guy gassing the parking lot. You wonder why there's
John is coming.
environmental disasters.
Get the fucking car.
We're doing IMOs. Did we do the rest of the bones? We must have. Oh, here we're graduating already. It's Ray's birthday. Another farmer. We must have done those bones. Did we? Maybe we did it off camera. I filmed everything, I swear. Maybe we didn't do the bones. No, we didn't. We ended up going up to this farm up north. Yeah, okay. Well, we didn't do the bones, so. Anyway. Okay, so let's go back over here and see. So, anyway, there you go with the bones. There you get to see it being done with a Korean master in Korea, so there you go. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Kind of a long answer. Show, don't tell. Of showing you. We didn't put it in the vinegar though. Apparently, at least maybe we did, and I just didn't see it. I might have skipped over it here, but so Ben got an IMO 3 pile going today. Awesome, man. Cool. Yeah, cool. That's a good thing. Using hickory nuts and shells. Cool. Use what you got. Cool. Yeah, hickory. Cool. What's up, Hawkeye, man? Gotta get you on here pretty soon. Oh, cool. Cool. So Ben got a great recipe here for doing this stuff. Not just hickory nuts. He used the two 25-pound bags of horse feed and 2 5-gallon buckets of crushed hickory nuts. 70-30 split. Sounds like a great recipe, Ben. Awesome, man. Ben knows what he's doing because he came here to the farm, did the class, learned, got real edumacated, got, I mean, not that he didn't know already, but I think on a scale of 1 to helpful, I think it was helpful that he came, and really enjoyed getting to know him. What a great guy out there doing good things for the world. What's Juglone? I'm gonna look up what Juglone is. It's not a juggalo. Whoop whoop. Juglone. Let's see here. Switch this over. Juglone. So you're asking about Juglone. Juglone is called 5-hydroxy 1,4-naphthaladione. Come on, use the correct word. 5-hydroxy 1,4-naphthaladione is an organic compound with a molecular formula C10H3O4. The food industry, Juglone is known as CI Natural Brown number 7. It is insoluble in benzene and soluble in dioxane, which is a crystallized as yellow needles. It's an isomer of lawsone, which is an active dye compound in the henna leaf. Juglone occurs naturally in the leaves, roots, husks, fruit, and the bark of plants. Juglanaceae family, particularly the black walnut, Juglans nigra, and is toxic or growth stunting to many types of plants. It is sometimes used as an herbicide, as a dye for cloths and inks, and as a coloring agent in food and cosmetics. I don't think this is going to be a problem for you even after reading all that, because it is made of CHO, right? It's made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, which is what microbes break down. So as it decomposes in that thing, it's going to turn into carbon and water. Yep, that's pretty much water. 2 waters, right? 3 waters and a carbons. So this thing will break right down. Look at it, this nice carbon oxygen compound here. And these will be rearranged into that, and they will break it down. So I would not worry about the Juglone. I would worry about Juggalos. Whoop whoop. They're more dangerous in your forest, and they are full of whippets. If anyone's a Juggalo, you know what I'm talking about. So let's read a little bit more. It says in 1921, a study observed tomato plants near black walnut trees exhibited wilted leaves and suggested an adverse interaction. In 1926, so an instance of apple tree caused by both Juglans nigra and Juglans butternut, so walnut and butternut, were reported in northern Virginia. Certain apple varieties varying levels to walnut toxicity. So you got to look what was also contemporarily happening right now in 1921. The chemical industry was coming in, so they wanted you to switch over to chemicals. So I'm sure they found this data right then because they wanted to show that the phytotoxic nature of the compound was identified for other plant species. But I would just ignore that because you're going to use microorganisms. As those microbes come in, they'll break it down. Yeah, so the scientific community faced controversy when the harmful effects of walnut trees on certain crops and trees were initially reported, following claims that the trees damaging apple trees in Northern Virginia were not walnut trees at all. There you go. So, yeah, so they're not like, it's not even a controversy. It's not even these things damaging it. It was actually the chemical industry putting out false studies to make you push you towards chemicals, and also wanting to get rid of your beautiful walnut trees. The conspiracy. In 1942, it was demonstrated that tomato and alfalfa germination and seedling growth were inhibited by contacts with pieces of walnut roots. So if the plant is alive and it's putting out exudates, I would imagine it would have some effect. So if your walnut tree is alive and it's putting out those things, but as soon as it's not alive and those exudates aren't being produced anymore and its defenses are down, it will decompose into CHO, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, which is basically the basis of life. You add a N in there, CHON, and now you got a protein. So it's just these things here. So and so before oxidization, Juglone exists in plants such as walnuts in the form of colorless hydrojuggalo with O groups replacing OH groups. This rapidly oxidizes into Juglone once exposed to air. The evidence, so once you expose it to air, so once, keep your pile aerobic, obviously, right? Evidence is that it's readily degraded. The evidence is that hydroxyjuglone is readily degraded in most apparent color change in the walnut hulls from yellow to black after being freshly cut. So it's going to rapidly degrade. Indigenous bacteria found in the soil of black walnut roots, most notably Pseudomonas petita, J1, are able to metabolize Juglone and use it as their primary source of energy and carbon. Boom, right there. You read far enough in and you get it. That's why you don't just read the headlines, you read the details. Because you find there's conspiracies, there's follow the money, and then you find that there's already indigenous bacterias found in the soil around walnuts are able to metabolize it. So I would say if you want to increase your odds even more with your IMO 3, grab a little bit of soil from under your walnut tree and put that into your pile. When you're using your IMO 4, put that soil from right there in there. So because of this degradation by Putida here, Juglone is not so active as a cytotoxin in well-aerated soils. Well-aerated soils. So keep it aerobic, 100, right? So right here, there you go, there you go, there you go. And then it says, you know, it's like stunt plant growth, but heck no. As soon as you get this microbe in there, it's like, that's the food I want. As a primary source of energy and carbon. And they talk about all this other stuff, but they don't know about natural farming, all these things. You know, Juglone has shown to affect maize crops because, they're not doing natural farming. They don't have this Pseudomonas putida in there, right? You put Pseudomonas putida in there, and you're good, right? All this toxicity stuff, you know, it's like insect herbivores. Probably, I mean, you could boil it down when it's alive type of thing and make a herbal solution out of it. So you know, but as soon as you get it into the thing, into the ground with diverse microorganisms, your friend Pseudomonas putida is going to get in there. Oh, look at her. Nice. And Putida J1 is going to break it down, so don't even worry about it. Just make sure you have diverse indigenous microbes in there. And then all this stuff here is, you know, biological effects, these alley cropping. It's probably because their soil is dead. But if you put the IMOs out here, watch, it'll bring it back to life and you'll get a better system working between these species. Because they're saying you got to prune and use root barriers to greatly reduce the effects. Just put the right microbes in there. Literally, just put the right microbes. Put Putida J1 in there and you're good. You're not going to have these problems. These are people that probably don't know about natural farming or beneficial microbes or amending their soil. So, and it's used as an herbicide. That's only if you're going to concentrate it down, right? If you concentrate it, I'm sure you could use it as an herbicide because anything out of balance is going to mess other things up. So you want to make herbicides, you can do those things. So yeah, Putida J1 for the win. That's right, Putida up in the house. So thanks for asking me about the juggalos. Whoop, whoop. But no, I wouldn't worry about them at all. What's up, George? Andrew? Poland, we got our folks up in the Eastern Europe coming in. Awesome. So we learned a lot about Juglone. Hicory also puts out Juglone, so get that Putida J1 in the house. But actually get the diverse microbes, because if you just employ Putida J1, she has friends, and if she has friends, she'll be better. I'm not even sure it's a she, it might be a he. Yeah. And then Stonemason here talking about his milled oats mulch mixture. I'm gonna try hickory nuts instead of the oats. Yep. Use what's around, man. If I had hickory nuts, I'd go nuts. The mycelium loves the hickory nuts in the woods. Yep. Okay, mycelium. Yeah, mycelium. And you're going to find Putida J1 in there. It occurs in the fruit. Yep. But regardless, it's going to break it down. Yeah, so anyway, that was an interesting Wikipedia exploration there, going through the data. What is the ear of a plant? Like a corn cob? Ear of a plant? I don't know. Let's ask the internet. Ear of a plant. The nose, I know that Oh, it's just saying ear is like the ear in botany. It's a grain-bearing tip part of the stem of a cereal plant, such as wheat or maize. So these are the ears. I don't know if they can hear you very well. It doesn't look like their collios very well developed, but that's the ear of the plant. The nose. Let's see the nose of the plant. Does it know where the nose of the plant is? Nose of the plant. Let's see. I don't think it does. The proboscis, right? No, the nose of the plant. You know where the nose of the plant is? It is right at the base of the plant. So if you're looking at, let's see if I can find a tree. I'm just going to go to images here. And the nose of the plant, where it breathes through its nose, is right here, right at the base. So if you cover that thing with too much mulch and you hill the mulch up, you are covering and suffocating the nose of the plant. But the nose is that very bottom. Let's see if we can see it right there. Is there the nose of the plant is. So this one doesn't have ears. It can't hear you very well, but the nose. And so don't clog the nose, because then you will nose nothing. Okay, comprehend and copy nature, yeah. Viktor Schauberger, awesome dude, doing his thing. I recommend reading Schauberger. He was an Austrian guy who got to observe nature before it was messed up. And subsequently his inventions messed up nature more and enabled him to log the inner forests. So it's always dangerous, you know, I'm talking about natural farming here, and it's going to enable the next destructive wave. Let's see, Chromium 4. Let's see, Chromium IV. Oh, they just, when I go on this, it just wants me to download Chrome. Google Chrome outranks the other ones, but I think you're probably talking about this. Atomic number 24, group 6. They are iron, chrome, and oxygen. It's typically used in industrial chromium. Chromium 3 here was an ion. Okay, chromium 3. Where's chromium 4 though? Oh, I got excited too early. Let's see. Do they talk about chromium 4? I just find it. Say it. Oh man. Chromium, molybdenum 4. Oh, chromium 4. There we go. Let's see. Chromium 4. There are 3. But it can also be formed through a reduction of chromium 4. Oh, here. Chromium 4. Hexavalent chromium. Okay, here we go. That's chromium 4. Hexavalent chromium. 6 oxygen. They made 136,000 tons of this stuff in 1985. The year I was born, they made a bunch of it. So it's used in textiles, wood preservation, anti-corrosion projects, chromate. So anytime you're dealing with heavy metals, let's see here, heavy metals, genotoxic carcinogens, damages genetic information causing cell mutation. Oh man, this stuff looks pretty gnarly, especially on large compounds. Vitamin C and other reducing agents combine with chromate to give chromium 3 products inside the cell. So apparently you need this a little bit. It says breaks down complex nutrients. So nucleic acids and proteins. So what I would say, if I was going to go clean this up, I would use a lot of canna fuel because you're going to get a bunch of nucleic acids and proteins. And it's needing that to form stable complexes. So in order to stabilize it, you need nucleic acids and proteins. So canna fuel, the fish amino acids, or whatever animal amino acids you're going to get. And I would combine it with lactobacillus because also those have lots of amino acids in them and help to go in. I'd also use some biochar because that would give it a carbon buffer to bring those and break those things apart. Yeah, so that's if I was dealing with a bunch of that, I would dump a bunch of KNF protectors, a bunch of fuel, and a bunch of biochar together. Seems like that would do it. Causes, and don't try not to breathe it in because it's going to cause carcinogenesis. Man, it's going to get into your oral cancer in your oral cavity and small intestine if you ingest a whole bunch of it. So put a bunch of charcoal in your water to make sure you absorb it out. Try not to drink a bunch of that stuff. 64% came from China. 23% were in clothing articles, including leather goods, hexavalent chromium. Man, yeah, wow. Stuff. Oh, remediation. Here you go. Chitosan. So you can make chitosan. It can be effectively employed for removing hexavalent chromium ions from aqueous solutions. So make chitosan. So take shrimp shells, crab shells, toast them, dissolve them in vinegar, and make chitosan because that's going to work for you. Looks like. It's a very cheap, economical, environmentally friendly substrate for coating of this polymer. So there you go. So I'd also use chitosan because that's what it's recommending right here. Yeah. Yeah, but I think chitosan, getting those proteins in there, the fuel, the chitosan, these things, yeah. Like there's always a biological solution to cleaning these things up because everything out there is and if you smoke, you're just directly putting it in your lungs if you're using tobacco smoke. Hexavalent chromium, which causes cancer. So yeah. So chitosan for the win. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here. Do I really want to read all this? No. We already found the answer. Wow. So funny how much long things there are on certain topics and then how short other topics are. But there you go. Some bioremediation tips for you. Chitosan to clean up hexavalent chromium. Using wood chips with mycelium mass. What? Affect IMO 3 process. We made a pile and went anaerobic quickly. I don't understand this question. Would using wood chips with a mycelium mass a lot affect IMO 3 process? We made a pile and it went anaerobic quick. Any thoughts? Keep your pile aerobic. Keep it under 120 degrees. Turn it. I don't know. You're trying to remediate the IMO 3 or the the wood chips. I don't know, but wood chips. If you know, classic Paul Stamets technique is take all your wood chips, put them into a barrel, fill it with you know, the equivalent of salt water, seawater, and then leave it for a few days, and then dump it out, and then that will sterilize, because all the microbes will go anaerobic, and then when they come back into contact with oxygen, they go aerobic. So you're also mineralizing your wood chips through that process, but then you can mix them in with IMO3 and have a clean, aerobic, good biology. Isn't that one from Erin Brockovich? I don't know. I've never watched the movie Erin Brockovich, so I don't know. But I know she was like an environmental lawyer that did a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure. Erin Brockovich. We can look up her up. Let's see. Erin Brockovich. I know there's a movie about her. Let's just see the film. No, it's not the film. We don't want the film. We want the original person. Maybe the film will link to the person. Oh, here it is. Actually, they're right there. Consumer advocate. Look at her. Erin out there, consuming advocate. Case against PG&E in Hinckley, California. Asbestos, PG&E litigation. Yeah, Chromium 4, man. Rainbow Possum, you're on it. That's the one that Erin Brockovich was against. Chromium 4. Alleged contamination of the drinking water. We got to get Erin Brockovich to become a natural farmer and learn about Chitosan and stuff, and then she can be an advocate. She's pretty popular, I think. I think she's still alive. Is she still alive? Looks like, according to Wikipedia, she is still alive. Divorced 3 times, though. Man, she sounds wild. She's 63, lives in Lawrence, Kansas. So if anyone knows Erin Brockovich, let's get her to do some natural farming and do some Chitosan remediation and be part of the solution. In addition to just, you know, doing lawsuits and stuff, which is cool, but also just directly helping the earth and putting that money that she won toward doing the good things. Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't judge on her. But go Erin Brockovich. Yeah, woo! Cleaning it up with Chromium, right? And looks like she likes to sue a lot of people, but we should get her into the you know, making a difference herself and advocacy instead of just, you know, suing things, which is cool to, like, you know, stop and sue and get damages, but cleaning things up is way better for everyone else. You know, just saying. But if you know Erin Brockovich, drop her a line, let her know Chitosan can help her out and how to make it. She can do it at home with just some shrimp shells and crab shells and or any other high Chito thing. You can make it also from insect frass, all kinds of things that are high in Chitosan or chitin, high in chitin. Get Erin Brockovich on the Korean natural farming train. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. We're fighting Juglones and Chromium. Just using mill has always gone anaerobic on me. Man, need to turn it more. Keep it cooler. Yeah, wood chips. Oh, yeah, stonemason's adding wood chips. It's good. About vinegar, we talked 1 month ago. I removed the cap of the colored mold, and now there are only small white particles in the liquid. I know at the end of October if it worked, but it looks like... Cool. Well, I hope your vinegar turns out well. Getting everything good. Maybe we'll go over vinegar in excruciating detail next time. Who knows? Oh, couldn't keep it cool. Oh, man. Make the pile smaller. If you're struggling with your IMOs, come here, take a class. I'll teach you all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then Rainbow Possum's also talking about remediating things by growing sunflowers. So using a bioremediation thing in the affected area, bag them and remove them after the season is over, and they're sometimes used for remediating contaminated soil. But then what do you do with the sunflowers? Then you gotta shred those and put it without breathing it, and then ferment them with chitosan, a bunch of crab shells, and just break all that stuff down, right? Cool, we figured it out. Yeah, so if you guys are worried about the mycelium in your wood chips, just use the Paul Stamets method of putting them in a barrel with salt water and then clean it out that way. But a little bit of mycelium, usually what you're getting, it's in the mycelium running book back there. But there's a couple types of mycelium, and usually the one growing in the wood chips are like, I don't know the scientific word, but they're the ones that break down wood, and they're not the ones that are your soil mycelium. And so you don't have to worry about those when you mix them in with the other ones, because the ones that are going to break down the wood are going to be outcompeted by the soil ones as the IMO process happens. The temperature gets out of their range. But anyway, there's a fair amount. I should get the book and read it so I have the scientific terms to drop knowledge, because there's only so much I can store in my my registers at one time. A lot of thrashing going on up there, which are just computer science jokes, which no one probably gets besides George. But that's cool. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. I had a good hour, even though I had a hard week. Thanks for being here. If you just focus on the good things, I think there are plenty of good things out there. So, look at these solutions we found for folks. Look at these things. Went into detail. Hopefully I'll be back next week. We'll see. Kind of feel like I need to take a week off. So, I don't know. And it's funny. Last week, my office hours, it's like, anyway, it gets demonetized because I showed that freaking Monty Python clip for 2 seconds, and it's like, it's just a model, and they demonetize me. So it's like, rawr. Anyway, struggle's real. Keep it up. Planting good things, do good things, and of course, if you can read my shirt backwards, But love you guys. Enjoy. Good week. I'll see you hopefully maybe next week, and we'll see. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. Thanks Pure KNF. Thanks Master Cho. And again, it's October already, so if you're gonna come to the classes, they're getting close and soon. So if you're gonna do it, you better get on that and do it. So appreciate all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Check out KNF support, Pure KNF, all those good things. What does it mean they demonetize me? It means that the video is no longer getting ad revenue. So they play ads and then they keep all the money instead of the money that has on the ads goes to me. That's what it means when they demonetize me. So it's not that my channel's been demonetized, but each video gets demonetized when I show that stuff. They're like, copyright, strike, and then they keep all the money. They love when that happens. So, yep. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, so it goes. Yep. Struggle is real. Big tech. Blah. Okay, but I am going to get out of here with a nice, love you. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks. Yep. With a slow curtain close. Okay, bye.